In my last video, I talked about how an incoming grade 9 student got a B in her math class, even though an independent assessment showed otherwise. A fellow tutor commented, "It's true that grades are often inflated and don't accurately reflect a student's ability." So I thought that today would be a great day to talk about grade inflation. In this video, I'm going to talk about how grade inflation affects students, as well as what I do as a math tutor to stop its effects. A real or perceived upward trend in the average grades awarded to students for a particular level of academic achievement. You bet it has. The most comprehensive article that I managed to find on the internet was this one. It shows that grades for American 12th graders keep rising, but scores on standardized tests are at the same time falling. What's important to note here is that grade inflation has always been happening, but COVID schooling made the rate of increase. I tried to look around for Canadian data, but it's a little bit harder to find. We got rid of provincial examinations a long time ago. Every class mark is determined by the teacher. But I did manage to find this very interesting article coming out of the University of Waterloo in 2018. So basically, the engineering department at Waterloo started comparing high school marks to the marks students were getting in engineering school. From this data, they figured out which schools' marks could not be taken at face value because they were inflated. You can find the list of adjustments they make to marks from different schools and regions online actually. I guess this is what happens when marks aren't standardized to anything. Kevin Costley of Arkansas Tech University wrote an article titled 10 Suggestions on How to Stop Grade Inflation. It kind of confirms what I've suspected to be happening with formal assessments in schools. Common ways in which grade inflation can occur include dropping the lowest test score in the course, raising grades due to good behavior, allowing students to resubmit assignments with the main purpose of making a higher grade, giving students really easy assignments. I've done some of the things on the above list when I was a teacher. It's not because I thought it was good practice, I just couldn't see any other alternative solution at that time. Teachers have no control over what situation they inherit in their classrooms after all. One of my university-bound grade 12s summed up what it's like to have the teacher who is that teacher who wants to fight grade inflation. While he didn't exactly put it in those words, she sounded like the kind of teacher who would assign you real grades and criticize your work in order to make you a good writer. I asked my student what he thought about her grading practices, and I paraphrased what he said. One teacher cannot turn the tide of grade inflation. I would be okay with stricter standards if all teachers were doing it, but at this point in life, it's more important for me to get accepted to my school of choice, and I will hone my writing skills later. If teachers are made to feel that they are holding their students back from their dreams by giving them real grades, then how is grade inflation not occurring? I need to be somewhere a little bit quieter. False confidence. Isn't confidence a good thing? I'm in no way suggesting that we don't boost students' confidence, but confidence is only a good thing if it's based on real skill. If the students don't have the skills that we're trying to teach them, the intervention should be about helping them gain the skills, not just moving the goalpost. Students learn that the appearance of effort can compensate for the lack of proficiency. They can always go and talk to the teacher to see what they can do to raise their mark when they have spent half the semester not taking the course seriously. I can see situations where giving students another chance is in their best interest, but a lot of the time this is just taken advantage of. Students can end up in courses that they're vastly unprepared for. In education, there is something called the Zone of Proximal Development, or ZPD for shorts. It is the space between what a learner can do without assistance and what a learner can do with adult guidance or in collaboration with more capable peers. For real learning to occur, especially in those cumulative courses like math, physics, chemistry, and languages, the skills in the yellow layer need to be absorbed into the red layer before the students can go on learning what's in the blue layer. Otherwise, it's too big a jump for them. So when kids get repeatedly passed up the grades without the proper skill level, they end up in classes where they just cannot do anything anymore. These are the students who end up having to show good behavior to go do that song and dance with their teacher to ask them what they can do to raise their mark. Not only that, but they are being cheated out of the opportunity to actually raise their skills. As mentioned before, no single teacher can turn the tide of grade inflation. No single tutor can either, but what I aim to do is to build up every single student that I work with. Sometimes students do come through for courses, they're asking for help for courses that I think they really just shouldn't be in. I do whatever I can for them, but it is always better if the material is within their grasp and the student has time and motivation to improve the situation. As I said before, summer is a great time for skill building. Students don't have to worry about the stress of grades. The student that I talked about at the beginning of this video has done about 6 sessions so far. In the first couple sessions, we were working on multiplication strategies because that is what I assessed that she needed at that time. But because she's motivated, she's raised her speed and accuracy in 4 different topics so far. We haven't even begun the high school work yet. Actually, this project has a long way to go, but at least she's experienced success and she knows what is the result of practicing. Nobody can take that away from her. She's still got a long way to go, but I hope there's a success story coming out of this. If she had waited to start in September with grade 10 math, I don't see any way that this would have ended well. If you're a parent, I think you know if your kid has been cruising through math class in the past 2 years and bringing home higher grades than expected. I would take a look into the situation to see if this is in development. The problem is a lot easier to fix when it's small. If your investigation does lead you down the path of looking for a math tutor, I am always happy to help. Email me anytime at info@claratone.com. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content. See you next time.